Hey guys, my name is Akhil and welcome to our YouTube channel BTech Credit Guide. So in this video, for further most videos, what we are doing is like we are planning a placement series. So as you know, this is a February month, and in the upcoming 2 months, the lot of colleges will be having these campus placements, and few companies will be coming on campus and few other off campus. So we usually post off campus drives in our YouTube channel. So most of the people are applying and they are getting the coding test, and is lagging is what is the one thing which is lagging is the people are unable to do or unable to frame a logical way of thinking by looking at the question. Okay, so to eradicate this kind of problem, we the beta career guide people have come up with a series called placement series. So what we'll be doing is like we'll be taking one problem and we'll be explaining each and every detail of that particular problem. Okay, so daily, so we'll be creating a playlist kind of thing. Okay, so we'll be releasing like if it's a topic is array, we'll be release one video on array, and then one video on string, complete entirely including all the problems in one single video. So by watching the entire array video, you'll be solving each and every problem on which is given on arrays. So like that we are framing this playlist. Okay, so I won't update this video until all the videos are completed on this arrays. So but today's topic is array. Okay, so basically you will be, so the what are the prerequisites for this video series is you need to have basic understanding of programming language. That's must. So you need to know what is integer, what is char, what is string, what is dictionary, what is list, kind of everything you need to know, much detailed, not much detailed, you need to know, you need to have some understanding of these data structures. Okay, then only you will be understanding what the logic which I'm coding, how I'm able to write the optimized solution. So I'll explain in two ways, which is the beginner level one and then advanced level one. So I'll be explaining two programs, or sometimes I'll be directly going to the optimized solution. Okay, okay, don't worry. So just stay tuned with me. So this playlist is entirely making in English. Like I don't feel like making it in Telugu. Previously, few of the people have asked me to make this playlist in Telugu, but we are all engineers and we know some basic English. So in case if you don't understand my language, just let me know. I'll reduce the speed and pitch. Okay, but this will be entirely in English. Okay, so let's get this program success. Okay, the first one which I brought you today is very simple one. Greeks for Greeks, array reverse. Okay, so now what this entire intention is, we need to reverse an array. So we're gonna reverse an array. So given an array, the task is to reverse the array. Reversing an array means rearranging the elements such the first element become the last, the second element become the second last, and so on. Okay, let me open this exam code draw. So I know you might know this, but in case if there is any people who don't know about this thing, so you need to understand the in depth of this reverse array, right? So that's why I'm explaining. In case if you know this, just skip. Okay, that's not an issue for me. Okay, so now what we have an array of let me take 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 7 1 comma 2. So this is the array. Now what they are asking is to, they are asking us to reverse this array. So what is the reverse of array? Reverse of this array will be arr equal to, so 3 comma 1 comma 6 comma 4 comma 3. Okay, let me change this to 2 just for clarity. Okay, so this is the array that they are want to make us. Okay, now let us compare. So this is the original array. Okay, let me okay. Oh shit. Okay, where is this pen? Okay, so this is the original array that they have given, and they want us to make this array by writing the program logic. So let us see how we gonna make that. Okay, so we can directly do this by, you see, the first element become the last element, and the second element become the second last, and the third one will be the middle one, and the fourth one will be the second one, and the last one will be the first one. So we need to reverse this element to form this array, right? So how we can write, so you need to understand few for loops. So basically if we go into this beginner level, beginner level, so what do you think, like, so okay, I have an array. I know what I need to do. I need to traverse each and every element. and then I need to pick each and every element. Then I need to keep it in a separate array, and then I need to write. This is what you think. Okay, so in case if you don't think like that, you will be having another approach. That's fine. Okay, now let us write what we are thinking. So now if I am a beginner, in case if I say this for the first time, what I do, I will traverse the array. Okay, so in traversing also, I'll say, now you need to travel, you should not travel in this manner, you should travel from the last manner. So we're gonna travel from the last. So in Python we can directly move from the last by taking the length and then switching each and every bit. Okay, I'll be telling you that. So I think my laptop charging is gone. Wait a second. Mm-mm. So I need to set up it up initially, but sorry guys, sometimes usually these things happen. But anyways, done. We turn on switch. Okay, right. Next we need to reverse the array. In reverse, REVRC, in reverse. Okay, so is that fine? So we also need to print the elements. Okay, so printing will take the elements in this vertical, horizontal, vertical manner, but we want it in a list format. So how we can do that? So we can directly do that by taking another array, take another array, and then what we can do, we can assign, we can append or assign the elements to the array. Okay, so like this we can do. Akil, so what are you doing? I didn't understand anything. Okay, don't worry, so just write, let's go and write some logic here. So we have an array. Hmm. So now we have an array. So this array, so let me take all the elements 2 comma 4 comma 6 comma 1 comma 3. Okay, so we have an element. Now what I told you, need to you need to traverse the array. So how you can traverse the array? You can traverse the array by using the for loop. So for I in now, so we have written for I, so for every element in I, or for every character, every count in I. So what I need to do, I need to traverse the array from the last. Okay, how I need to do in Python? So in Python, basically we'll be taking the length and then we'll be returning the count. So we'll be taking the length and then each and every element will be taking. Okay, so for I in range of, now we need to calculate the range of numbers that you have. So for range, if I need to calculate the range, what I need to have, I need to have initial value and then I need to have starting value, so that I can form a range. So for example, if I give the range of, if I given the range of 1 comma 5, so I'll be getting like 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 5. Likewise, so if I given the range of 5 to 1, so I'll be getting 5 4 3 2 1. So this is the range. Okay, so once you get the range, then you can take this range to assign an index for the particular element to get the element of the array. Right, so now I'll be taking like length of arr. Fine, so I'll be taking the length of array as the initial value, and then what I need to do, I need to travel till the zero element. Okay, so in Python there is a glitch. So if you want to get the last element, we need to not move to the zeroth index, but we need to move to the last 1 minus 1 index. Okay, and then, so every time what we are doing, so now we have got the length of array as 5. Okay, so this is the length of array is 5, and this is the last value, this is the start value, and this is the nth value. And then the next parameter of this range will be incremental or decremental operator. Okay, so in this particular case, what we need to have, we need to have the decrement operator. Okay, because we are traversing the array in the reverse order, so we need to decrement each and every value. So -1. Okay, done. Now what I'll do, I'll be printing the AR of I. So what does AR of 5 initially will be? Initially it will be 5, and then AR of 5 will be 3. Okay, so but here is another thing. Did we have AR of 5? No, right? Which means we need to separate one more value from this particular array. So array len of array -1. Okay, right? So we have the initial 5, but we don't have the index 0. Where is this? Okay, so initially we don't have the index 5. So what we have subtracted another one value to get the last element of the particular array. So if I print AR of 5, which means like AR of 4, we'll be getting 3 because the array is index 0 based. So we can't take it as 1 based. Okay, so we need to take 0 based, which means like the last element is on the fourth index. So the 3 will be returning, and then this one, third position, second position, first position, zeroth position, we'll be getting all the values in a vertical manner. 3 1 6 4 2. Okay, so let me write this logic there. Let me copy this and go to this compiler. Let me paste it and click on run. Now you see we got this. So prc 31642 values. Okay, 31642 in a reverse order. We got it in a reverse order, but what we are saying is like we need to get this reverse order in a list also. You need to get this in list. So how we can do that? So if we go to the logic, so I have told to take another array and append the elements to the array. Okay, so we can take another array, result array. Okay, so result array, and for every I value, what I'll do, I'll be assigning to the result array, result dot append of ar of I. So now I'll be appending, and then at last I will be printing a result. Okay, so now let me remove, okay, let it be. So let me write print of array. So if I click on run, now you see, so we have print each and every value in reverse order. So this one, and then what we have did, we have append each and every value to the result, which means in the reverse order, and then we have printed the result array. So 314131642. So that's the expected output, 31642. Okay, right? Done. Very simple, guys. But here is another thing, where I'm mumbling. Okay, so this is not the optimized solution. Okay, so this is not optimization, as because this will be taking lot of space complexity, and it's, we have taken the for loop, and which will be like, it's an incremental manner, it will be taking some time complexity also. So this is the beginner level concept. Okay, and if you want to go to the advanced with the minus with plus 1000 aura, what we can do, we can simply take this array. So but before this this solution, what you need do, you need to understand the slicing concepts also in Python. So slicing is another concept in Python. Slicing in Python, so I won't go to the much details. So here you go. So I explained this multiple times in our YouTube video also. So this is a hello world. So 0 1 2 3 4 5, so and so, and b of 2 is to 5, which means so you'll be taking the second element and then fifth till fifth. So click on try it yourself. If you click on run, and this is where the output is. Oh, so LLO, which means zeroth position, first position, and then second position, third position, fourth position, fifth position. So in slicing, so we don't take this fifth position, we'll be taking 5 minus 1 position, which means n minus 1 positions. 2 to 4 will be taking the value. So 2, 3, and 4. So okay. So if I give this in reverse order is to minus 1. If I give that minus 1, you see what will happen. Oh, it is a result. Okay. Let it be for time's sake. Okay, LLO, let it be. So let's take another example from this one only. So slice from start, you can take slice from start. So from starting you'll be getting all the 5. So try it yourself. So allow. So for backwards also you'll be getting this 2, from 2 to I need to get everything. So 1 2, and from LLO we'll be getting allow world. So negative indexing also works, but negative indexing starts from the right side. Okay, so if you take minus 2 and then below, this is 1 minus 1 and then minus 2. So from D till minus 4 you'll be getting the values. So LRO. Okay, so this is the minus 1, and this is minus 2, and this is minus 3, and this is minus 4. Okay, this is minus 5. So in reverse it is taken till the last value. Okay, so from 2 minus 2 minus 3 minus 4, we are getting all the values. Okay, did you understand? Minus 0 minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 minus 4 minus 5. Okay, so likewise you need to understand this program. Okay, so then once we go to this, where is this online compiler? So now you have a basic understanding of slicing. So there is another thing called there are multiple parameters of slicing. If you go to this array slice, yeah, they didn't give, but if you go to this documentation, um, Python slicing an object, and then if you go the time where is this see this unpacked replaced by unpacked. Okay. Here's the document. Let's go to this one. See, the sequence will be start, stop, and then step. So in which step do you want to make this render? Okay, so if I go to this particular thing, and if I print of ARR is to, so I didn't give start, I didn't give stop. So if I, okay, let me comment this out. So I didn't give start and I didn't give end. But what I did, I just given I so let me frame this in a nice format. So I didn't give start, but I didn't give end. So I didn't give anything but just two semicolons. Then what is returning is returning the entire list. And then if you go to this documentation, which is an optional parameter, which is step, extend slice syntax, step value of slice default set to 1. But we don't want this to be printed in a ascending order, but we want this that to be printed in a descending order. So how we can do, so as we need to traverse from the left right side. So what is the value of the right side? So and initially I told you it will be starting from the right side as -1. So if I give -1, what will happen? So if you go to this thing, and after this, if I give -1 and click on run, boom, you can see the entire array has been reversed in a single line. Okay, did you get my point? So that's how the entire beginner not beginner advanced coding for this particular problem. If in case if you're fresher, just go with this logic, and in case if you are new to this programming concept, and if you are never about this particular reverse is to -1 logic, learn things now. Okay, so as simple as that. So that's the end of the video. So I'll be getting lot of interesting problems on this particular array concept, multiple problems on this, and I'll be making master in this array problem. Then we'll be going on to this uh, two-dimensional array, strings, linked list, graphs, everything I'll be explaining you in this particular playlist. So I'll be creating these videos slowly. Okay, don't worry, I'll be uploading once everything is done. Okay, till then, have a nice day. Bye bye. Hello, welcome back. So let us see another question, which is on the maximum and minimum element in an array. So here is the question: maximum and minimum of an array using minimum number of comparisons. So we need to do minimum number of comparisons to get the minimum value and the maximum value. So I will be explaining the both beginner level and then the advanced level thing. But here let us understand. So given an array of size n, the task is to find the maximum and minimum element of an array using the minimum number of comparisons. So that they have asked. Initially, in case if you are from the first or second year students, so what you'll be doing like exam glitter. Let me, okay, let's move that there. And for example, if this is an array that they have given, for example, if we take this array, mm, mm, so this is the array. Let me put this in square brackets rather than that. So this is the array that they have given, and we need to find the minimum number of operations. So we have taken array. So now what, in case if you are fresher, what you will be doing is like, so I need to traverse. So these are the steps that you will be making. So given array, first one, you will be traversing the array, traversing the array, and then you will be taking a comparison operator, comparing. So how you will be doing is like, we will be taking 3 and then you will be comparing with the next value, which is 5. You will be checking whether 3 is greater than 5 or 5 is greater than 3, less than 3 likewise. So that's how you will be framing the logic. So comparing the value, and then if greater, if greater, then you will make that value as max. And then in this step only, if lesser, make that value as min, and then you will be printing the result. N is missing here. You'll be printing the result. So this is how you'll be doing in case if you start the coding as of now. Okay, so you'll be taking an array and then you'll be comparing the values. You'll be taking the one comparison value and then you'll be comparing both lesser and greater than, and you'll be printing the result. So let us do this in code. So how you'll be doing is like you'll be taking an array for I in range of len of arr. Okay, and then what you'll do, you'll be taking another value. Let me move this below. You'll be taking a minimum value and maximum value. For example, if I gonna take a minimum value as here, I will be putting, so okay, so min is equal to, I will be taking the initial value array of 0. Okay, and then I will be taking max also array of 0. Okay, and then once you come to this logic, particular logic, so here we am saying like traversing the array, which will be done by this for loop. Okay, then we need to compare the value. So how we are going to compare the value? We are going to compare the value just by using greater than and less than symbol. If max, which means max, here max is 3, right? So if 3 is greater than 5, which means 5 is the maximum value, that maximum value should be compared to the next values, right? Okay, so if 3 is the maximum value than other numbers, then I need to take 3 as a maximum number. But in this particular case, what happened? So 3 become less and 5 become more, which means 5 is greater than. Okay, so now in case if max greater than error of 0. Okay, if let me do this, if error of 0 greater than max, what I'll do, I need to assign that value to the max value, right? So max is equal to error of 0. Okay, done. So every time when a value incremented, for example, if you say check this condition only, let me copy this, let me put it here. So every time it will be iterating, right? So initially it will be in the first position, and 3 greater than 5. Sorry, so error of let me do this. So error of 0, which means 3 greater than 5. Sorry, 3 greater than 3. No, it won't be happen. That's the first case. And then in case if it is going in the next case, so it will be become error of 1, which is 5. So 5 greater than 3, which is true. And then what will happen? This maximum value will be assigned to the fifth value. Okay, so max will have the 5 value. So likewise, it will be traveling so on, this one. And now we have the max as 5. So this is the max. Okay, and then max will be comparing to 4. So 5 greater than 4, true. Okay, and that will be true. And then next one, okay, we are checking in this manner, right? So 4 greater than 5, false. And then 1 greater than 5, false. Later 9 greater than 5, which means true. Now 9 will be assigning to the max value. Got it? Simple. And likewise, in case if you want to do this, we here for this condition we will be getting the maximum value. And in case if you want to do this for the uh, lesser value, for error of 0 less than minimum value, what will happen? So the minimum value is equal to error of 0. So here I am taking 0, but it should be the I, because every time we are iterating the values. So I need to say it in the start, but don't worry. Just for your understanding, just I taken the 0. So every time the I value is minimum, you'll be taking the minimum value is I value. For example, here you see, so this is the array. Now initially we have 3. So 3 less than 3, false, it won't happen. And then next it will be moving to the 5. 5 less than 3, no, false. And then 4 less than 3, false. And then 1 less than 3, which is true. Okay, so for this condition, one condition, it will become true, and then 1 will be assigned to the min value. And then later 9 will be taking, so 9 less than 1, false, and it won't happen. Okay, so this is a simple logic that you will be writing. Okay, let me copy everything. Okay, let me copy everything and paste it here on my favorite compiler, Python, and let me paste it here. Okay, so I need to remove all the spaces. So Python is indentation, so we need to take care, maximum care for this Python. Like we need to treat it as a baby. Okay, or else it will be showing torture as a girlfriend. Okay, don't worry. Oh, did I copy everything? It won't happen. Okay, so let me define ARR of ARR is equal to what are the values? 35419, 3541 comma 9. Okay, so now if I print the min comma max, and sorry, so I need to take minimum comma, so min and max are the default functions in the Python. So I'll be taking a variable, not max and min. So I'll be assigning some parameter, some underscore. Okay, so now we are printing the result. So if I click on run, so the minimum value in this particular array is 1 and the maximum value is 9. So likewise, that's how you'll be getting the result. Okay, so this is the beginner level logic that you will be writing. So you'll be teaching this logic in the college also. Okay, so this is how you need to do. But as we are becoming pro level, so we can do. So initially we'll be taking the array is equal to this array, and then in Python there are functions called, which I already told by mistake. So there are functions called min and max. If you can write print of min of ARR and comma max of ARR. Taran. So we got 1 comma 9 in a single go. Like max and min will be taking the iterations in the library. That's separate part. But did we do any kind of like doing like did we use any brain there? No, I know the functions min and max, and I just apply it there, and that's how my answer is. So if you want to become a pro in any programming language, just know the functions. Okay, know the function, know the inbuilt functions. Or if you are really capable of doing anything, just give a function to the library, give open source contribution to the library, and that will be highly appreciated. Okay, so that's the program for today. Okay, so just practice that. And you guys, so let us see another set of problem. So this is the kth smallest number. So given an array ARR and an integer k, where k is the smallest of the size of array, and the task is to find the kth smallest element in the given array. So they have given an array, we need to find the smallest element at that particular location in that particular array. Okay, in the below example you can see ARR of is equal to 7 10 4 3 20 15. So for example, let me take this all. Okay, let me copy this everything. Taran, taran. Example draw. So let me paste it here. So this is a array. Now they are asking us to sort this array. So they want us to make this array as, so what's the smallest? 3 comma 4 comma, then 7 comma 10 comma 15 comma 20. So after we sort this array, we need to find the kth smallest element. So they have given the value 3. So which means we need to return the value which is at the position 3. Okay, so as we know, it is a zero based index. So we'll be considering as k minus 1 position. So in our language, so k minus 1 means second position. Okay, so in that particular array we need to return the second element. Okay, so 0 1 2. So error of 3 is 7, which means 3 minus 1. Okay, so don't get confused, it is zero based index. Let me write that also for your sake. Zero based index. Okay, so for this we need to do this kind of problem. Okay, so how are we gonna write code for this? Okay, so let me keep it there. For this, initially what we'll be doing, we need to compare each and every value. So there are different sorting algorithms to do this particular problem: bubble sort, insert sort, select sort, merge sort, quick sort. Okay, so they are a bit too complex, like this merge sort, quick sort and all. So I won't go much details into this sorting techniques. Later I will be creating a separate playlist for that. Okay, for till then just focus on the sorting algorithm which I'm going to explain, but I won't explain in detail. So later we can deal with that. But for particular time being, to solve as a placement series to get you prepared for this, so I will be making it faster. Okay, so every time in this particular array, so how we can say is whether a number is small or not by comparing with other number. For example, here 7 10. So we can say that 7 is smaller than 10. So we need to compare by using the comparator operator less than or greater than symbols. Okay, so now we got to know that we need to compare each and every element. Then what we need to do, after comparing each and every element, we need to shift the elements to their particular position. So to get this particular array, so we need to move each and every element, right? So in case 7 is less than 10, which means true, so don't need no need of interchanging this position. But when coming to 10 and 4, but coming to 10 and 4, here you can see what happened. 10 is greater than 4, which means 4 should come before the 10. Okay, 4 should come before the 10, and then 10 should be in this position. Okay, got it. And then when you compare this array later, so 7 4 10, if you compare 7 and 4, 4 should come before the 7. Okay, so likewise whenever you do this, you need to understand whether which element is smaller or not. Once the element is smaller, you need to move that to the particular location. Okay, so that we'll be writing it in code. Okay, so for that we'll be taking an array for I in range of len of array. So what this array will be doing, it will be iterating over the array, and then we'll be taking the first element, and then we need to compare the next element. For comparison of the next element, and to move towards the end of the array, we need to get another loop so that it will be in a sequence. So for j in range of len of arr. Okay, got it. So we have taken two loops, so that we'll be comparing one list of elements and with the second list of elements simultaneously. Now whenever each element is iterated, now 7 will be compared with most of the elements in the second element. Okay, 7 plus 7 7 7 7 10 7 4 7 3 7 20 7 15. Okay, whenever value is less than this particular number, it will be shifting the places. So this is a bubble sort algorithm, so I will be explaining in much details later, but for timing, just understand okay how the program works. Later we'll be going into the simplest format. Okay, so now what happened, we have taken two arrays, two lists. One is in dynamic location, one is static location. Okay, so now what we'll be doing, we need to shift the branches. So once I told before I told, so we got the array. Now next what we need to do, we need to shift that particular smallest element to its position. So zeroth position, one position, second position. So for that what we can do, so directly we can write if arr of j greater than arr of I. So what happened? Error of j is greater than error of I. Then what will do? What we'll need to do? We need to shift this particular value, shift this particular 10 towards the first position, and then this 7 towards this position. Don't worry about this initial stage only. So we will be directly diving into the optimization thing also. Okay. So for timing, just understand how we are doing. Okay. Now the array will be 10, 7, 4, so on, and all the elements, and then this is the closure. Okay. So now later what will happen, next iteration will be done. So next iteration what you'll be checking, it will be checking the next element, and so on. It will be traversing till the each and every element, and it will be returning the sorting algorithm. So how we can do, so what I did was, so in place of 7 I have replaced 10, and in place of 10 I replaced 7. So how we can do that? Okay, so like for example, AR of 0 initial it is 7. Okay, now AR of 1 initial it is 10. What I did, I have swapped the values such that AR of 0 is 10, and then AR of, now you see what happened. Now the value of j is replacing the AR of I, but later what we need to do, we need to replace the I value in the position of j. But here as per the condition, AR of I is equal to j, which means I value is removed by the jth value. Okay, for that there is a case called, we need to store temporary array so that we can use it later. So if I can take a temp variable, and then if I assign arr of I for it, and then if for arr of j, if I can assign the temporary value, and it's done, right? So simply how it works is like, now so you see temp is equal to arr of I, which means temporary temp in temp I will be having temp is equal to, initially I will be having the seventh value, and then what I did, arr of 0th position, arr of 0 I have replaced with arr of j, which means arr of 0 consists of 10, and then arr of I, which means for 0th position. So let me replace this in ar, sorry, this is to be j. So in arr of j position, what I need to do, I need to replace the seventh value, but here as seventh value is replaced by 10, so we don't have any seventh value. So that for that particular reason, we have taken a temporary variable to us to store the ith value, and then place it here. Okay, so this is the simple logic. Now, so we have, once we have done this, now what we need to do, we need to simply print our array. So print of arr simply sort this array. Okay, this is the actual requirement of our program. No, this is not the actual requirement of our program. Okay, wait. Okay, it's recording. So this is not the actual a program that we required. So we just need to get this minimum kth smallest element. So if we can go to this particular array, so here we'll be getting an array. As I told, we need to return the k minus 1 array as it is 0 base index. So if you can here print of error of k minus 1, and that's done. You'll be getting the smallest element. So if I can grab this code, and then go to my online compiler. If I place it here, close. So Python is all about indentation. Let me do it quickly. Okay, so let me copy this one also. So we need to get this output as 7. Okay, just remember that. So ARR and then k value. If I click on run, it showed me error. So let us see what's the error. Index out of bound. Okay, okay, here I need to remove the comma. Okay, sorry, small my mistake. Okay, so here we have the array. Okay, and then k is equal 3. So by this particular logic we have just sorted the array. So 3, 4, 7, 10, 15, 20, and then later we have taken this error of k minus 1, which means the smallest element. So if I can grab this code, if I can grab this code, and then if I put it here, so if I go ahead and keep it here, and then this what is this, and return, what I will do, return error of k minus 1 I will be returning. Okay, so if I click on compile and run, so expect the output all same, and if I click on submit, let us see what will happen. So here you see, so 1010 cases were passed, but 1110 for 1110 cases. Okay, so what is the issue that we are facing? Time limit exited time limit exit exception that we have faced here. So expected time limit is 1.1 second. Okay, so in case if you are in a college, you will be doing this particular logic. Okay, this bubble sort algorithm to solve the array, and then later you will be finding k minus 1 portion. Okay, now we are in the beginners, we are in the advanced course. So what we can do, we need to use the inbuilt functions, okay, to optimize this code, or you can go with other sorting techniques also, that's secondary. But okay, now you got this. So simply what we are doing, so we are doing everything what we needed here. So I can write it as simply, so arr we will be taking as this one. So arr, and if I can place it here, so this is an arr. What I need to do, I'll simply say, in Python there is a function called sort. So I can simply say arr dot sort, and this will be automatically sorting all the elements in my array. So if I go there, and if I comment all this out, if I comment all this out, and if I try arr dot sort, and if I print the array, if I click on run, you see, in single line we have just sorted the entire array, right? So we have taken how many lines? 1 2 3 4 5 6 lines of code is optimized to write in a single line, that error of sort. Here you can do magic. So error of k minus 1, simply if I click on run, the output is 7. So if I copy these two lines, and then if I go to this area, and if I comment all these things, and if I paste this code, and it's not a print one, it should be a return. So return here of k minus 1, and if I click on compile and run, it will be showing like compile successful and all, but we need to check the internal test cases. So when I click on submit, what will happen, we'll see. So taran, so we have passed each and everything, okay, with 1110 test cases, and time taken is 0.5 seconds, which which is very less than the case that they have given, they have told to do it in 1.1 second, but we have did it in 0.05 seconds. So that's how efficient your code should be. So don't worry, as you're a beginner, you'll be understanding much detail. So that's it in this video. Let's do another problem. Okay, so let us see another problem which is in the same manner. So move all negative numbers to beginning and positive to end with the extra constant extra space. Okay, so here you see they have given an array, not an array or string, anything that you can consider. So 12, 11, 13, minus 5, 6, minus 7, 5, minus 3, and 6. So now we need to print that in this manner. Like negative number should be towards the left side and right side all the positive numbers. Okay, so for that we can use the same logic. We can directly solve the array that will be giving you all the numbers in a sorted panel. Okay, if I go to this compiler online GCC, so if I can grab this, and then remove all this and then close. If I can go move to Python, so arr is equal to bracket open and then paste all the values. Now as I told, arr sort works. If we can sort this array and if we can print this array, we'll be getting all the values in this format. Okay, so negative numbers towards the left and then positive numbers towards the right, and ascending order. So now this is not what they have expected. So we need to print that value in a we need to print each and value with a constant space, white space, not a comma. So for that we need to take a loop for I in arr. We need to print each and every value should be arr of I. Okay, so now you see the values are printed in this manner, in vertical manner, but this will not be the case because they have given in this manner with the space between them. So we can directly at in Python the print can be of multiple types. Okay, if I can open this documentation, I think in documentation, I don't know the shortcut of print. Okay, so print in Python 3 documentation. So if you can open this documentation, if you can go to this print, here you see, so print as an object and then space and then end and then file name flush false. So if you can consider this n slash, so initially it will be defaultly taking as slash n, which means the next line. So that's why we got the result as 13 minus 2 minus 12 minus 7 6 5 minus 3. So each and every value is printed in the next line just because we have passed this minus n as the default parameter to the function. Okay, so that we need to alter. So we don't need that, but what we need to have a space between them. Okay, so directly we can move this n as space. If I click on run, tanan, so that's the output. So 13 space 12 space minus 7 space minus 6 space minus 5 minus 3 5 6 1. So that's the expected output. Just go with this documentation, and documentation literally works every time. Okay, so as simple as that. Let's catch up another in another program. Yep. So let us see another problem from the lead code. So here is the missing number. So what they're saying, like, given an array numbers contain n distinct numbers in the range 0 comma n, and return the only number in the range that is missing from the array. So we need to find the missing number from that particular array. Or we can do, so we'll be explaining the beginner and the advanced level too. Okay, here you see, for names is equal to array of 3 comma 0 comma 1, and the output is 2 because we have 0 1 2 is missing and 3. So from 1 to 3, 2 is missing. Okay, let me copy this and go to my example draw. Okay, so there is nothing much to explain in this, but I'll be trying to give a simple glimpse of it. Okay, so this is what you will be having. Nums is equal to, so basically when you are in the college, what you will be thinking, like, okay, so I have these numbers 0 3 0 1. So what I can do, I can get an array of from certain range to range. For example, 0 to n they have given, right? So we'll be creating an one array. So what your thought is, like, thought process. So create an array with sequence SCQUENCE, I don't know spellings. Okay, sequence, which means like you will be creating an array called 0 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3, and then what you will do is, like, you will be comparing this element this array to this particular array. So for example, if I give this array as new nums, what you will be doing is, like, you will be comparing this new nums array with the nums array. And then later you will be saying like, okay, if this particular element is present in this particular array, then okay, then fine. If not present, then just return. So if not present in nums, just return the number. So this is what you will be doing. Okay, so your thought process will be in this manner. Don't worry, let's write a program for this. Okay, um sorry, it's number. Okay, so first we need to create an array. So nums, new nums is equal to, we'll be getting it. And then what we need to do, we need to create a sequence for this particular array. How we can do a sequence? We can use range, we can use directly for loop, for I in range of. So what is the length we need to get from this particular nums array, because that's the length of the particular array, and that length we need to use. So length of nums plus 1, because as you know, okay, so num plus 1, because the length will be 1 2 3, but we need to take 4, because from 0 to 3 we have 4 values: 0 1 2 3. Okay, so we'll be taking the range of 4. Okay, so now for that, so every time I will be getting the iteration values, and what I do, every time when a new value is incremented, I will be assigning to the new nums array, append of I. Okay, now this code, what does it do is like, it will be returning the array of 0 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, fine. Now good. Okay, so we are completed till first point. The next, what you'll do, you'll be comparing the new numbers with the numbers. So you'll be doing like, again you'll be taking for loop for I in nums, for I in new nums. Okay, and every time you'll be comparing whether I is present in the nums array or not. Okay, so for if I not in num, what you'll do, if I is not present in the nums, which means like other elements are present, which means r element is r element. Okay, r element not in that particular array. So what you'll do, you'll be printing the I value. Simple. So if not present in nums, just return the number. So if I not in nums, you just print not present. Okay, let me copy this and go to my online compiler, python 3. Let me paste it here. Let me remove this one, and then indentation, sorry, was this new nums. So nums we need to take. So nums is equal to array, what did they have given? 3 comma, okay, so 3 comma 0 comma 1, 3 comma 0 comma 1 they have given. Okay, so if I click on run, what do you think the expected output should be? The expected output should be 2, because 2 is missing from this particular array. If I click on run, we got the expected output as 2. Exactly, that's what we needed. Okay, and then if I go to if I go and second copy the second test case. Okay, so if I keep it here, so here you see for this also we have size 2, we have 0 1. Which number is missing? 2 number is missing. So if I click on run, see output is 2. Okay, so let me copy this everything, and then I think it should be written in that particular return I. So if I click return I and then copy everything, new nums, and if I paste it here, let's see how it will be. So indentation, so if I click on run for this particular code which I've written now, so accepted, 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 and if I click on submit, speeding up. Okay, so here are my submissions, and then you see what is the time allocated. So runtime is around 1311 milliseconds. Oh my god, in case if the input is more than the more complex inputs, if they are given an array of more elements, then it will be a more time complexity. How we can do? We can do it in a less form also. Okay, so we have the runtime 1311 seconds, so let's reduce that. So how we can reduce that is by using the inbuilt functions. Okay, so you need to master the inbuilt functions before that, and also you also should know few basic mathematics. Why mathematics, Akil? See, so they are asking us to find the missing number. Okay, missing number particular array. So if you can go to the sum of numbers, or sum of what do you call, sum of natural numbers formula. Here you see they have given the sum of natural numbers formula is n of n plus 1 by 2. We can take this formula, or we can directly use the sum function in Python. So we'll be taking sum function. So because we need to reduce the lines of code in advanced level. So this is the beginner logic, and then if I go to this advanced level, what I can do, I can simply find the sum of, okay, find the sum of nums array. So what is the sum of nums array? 0 3 0 1, which is 4, and what I'll do is, like, next I will be finding the sum of sequence. So sum of sequence of the array. Okay, so now what is the array of sequence? So we have 0 comma 1 comma 2 comma 4. Okay, 2 comma 3. So what is the sum for this particular value? The sum of this value is 3 plus 2 plus 1 6. Okay, so what if I do, if point 2 minus point 1, how much do I get? So which is 6 minus 4, which means we'll be getting the missing number, which is 2. Boom, right? So this logic we'll implement in Python. Okay, so how we can do? Very simple. We need to take range, we need to take sum, and we need to print the sum of numbers. Let's do the first point. So sum of nums concludes the gives the result sum. But later, what we are doing, we are subtracting it from the sequence of array. So how we can find the sequence of array? In Python, there is a function called range. Range in Python. Mm, mm, mm. So here you see, so range in Python. So if you give range of 10, it will printing from 0 to 9. Okay, last value it won't take. If I give range from 1 to 11, so it will be taking from 1 to 11, 1 to 10. If I give range from 0 30 and of 5, so it will be printing the 5 table, and range 0 10 3, so 3 table. 0, it will be in a decremental manner. 0 nothing, range of 0 comma 1 nothing. So this is the range function, start, stop, and step. Okay, let's take this one because it is written in the sequence. Okay, let me go it here, and if I can take this sequence of it. Taran, 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 taran. So what I can do, I can take the range I need to take. So what is my initial value? Or in case if I don't mention any initial value, what will be doing, in case if I mention the length, it will be printing the range from 0 to 9, because initially 0 is fed to the function. So I can give the range. So what would be my range? So my range would be the length of numbers plus 1, right? So that's the length that we want, because we have that many elements, 1 0 2 0 1 2 3 4. We have 4 elements, and the length is 3. 3 plus 1, which is 4. So if we want to print the range from 0 to 4, okay, 0 to 3, which means 4 elements, we'll be getting this range. And what I told, it should be sum of sequence of an array. So here for this particular range, if we use that range, so what we are returning the range function is returning the list of elements. On list we can do the sum operation. Okay, if I can go to this, and if I perform the sum of range of length of numbers of sum minus 1, and taran, that works. So for this particular thing, we'll be getting the value as 6. Okay, we'll be getting value as 6, and for this we'll be getting as value as 4. And if I can do this equal or the return, so if I keep return statement before return, simple. So entire program we have written in a single line. Okay, let me copy this. I can do that. This work. Okay, so that's your next question, right? So if I click here, and if I remove this return, and if I print off, if I give print, and then if I enclose this, if I click on run, if you see, if I click on run, you see the output is 2. That's the expected output. In case if I give 3 comma 0 comma 1, the expected output is 2. In case what if I do, I'll be giving like 1 2 3 and then 4. So what is the expected output? The expected output should be 0. Okay, so same program but different logic in advanced mode. Okay, if I can copy this thing and then go to this compiler, where is this LeetCode problem? Okay, so I'll be remove this. So just make sure that we got the runtime value as 1311 milliseconds, Okay, so now what I'll do is like I'll be removing this code. Okay, and I'll be giving this code, and before that I'll be put return, because that's the value that I need to return. And if I click on run, mm, so accept, all accepted. And if I click on submit, now you see, so how many milliseconds that we take to execute this program? So we have just taken 2 milliseconds to execute this particular program. Before that we have taken 1 milliseconds, which is very huge when compared to this function, this code. Okay, so that's how you need to do. Okay, hope you got understand, hope you understood what I've told. In case if you don't understand, just let me know, don't worry. So we'll be getting a lot of these programs much after. Okay, so let's catch up in let's capture okay, let's catch up in another program. Yep. So let us see another problem, which is content duplicates. They are saying like given an array integers names, return true if value appears at least twice in an array, and return false if every element is distinct. Okay. So they are saying if every element is distinct, which means like it is unique array, just return false. In case if it has an duplicate elements in that particular array, just return true. For example, here you see names we have 1 2 3 1, which means like we have 1 1, which is a duplicate value. Then what you'll do, you need to return true because it has duplicates. Okay, and here also 1 2 3 4, it doesn't have any duplicate, return false. Here you see we have multiple duplicates in this particular array, so which is true. Okay, let me take this. Okay, let me grab this and go to this thing. Let me paste it here. So we have this array. So what you'll do, you'll be thinking like, okay, let's sort this array. Your first thought will be, let's sort this array, sort the array. Okay, and then what you'll do, you'll be comparing the each and every element with the beside element, and check whether that particular element is true or with the same or not. Okay, uh, comparing adjacent values. Okay, if the values are same, what you'll do, you'll be returning false. If same, return false. Okay, if distinct, what you'll do, you'll be returning true. Okay, this is the thing you will be doing. Okay, let me write this in logical format. In case if you're fresher, this is what you will be thinking of. In case if you get any idea, that's also fine. So let's just do this. So first one is sort the array. So how we can do, nums dot sort, numbers are sorted. So for this particular line, we'll be getting the result as 1 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3. You'll be getting this. And then what you'll do, you'll be comparing an adjacent values. So how you'll be comparing an adjacent value? So for comparison, you need to take for loop for a in range of. So what's the range? I need to take the range of numbers. But when you're comparing, there might be a one area where you will be facing the um, this value called what we call value not found error, because you are comparing with the n plus 1th value. So if you are at the ith location, what you're comparing, you're comparing with the I plus 1 location, the next corresponding. Okay, what I'll do, I'll be reducing the length of array. Fine till now. So what I'll do, if nums of I double equal to nums of I plus 1, okay, I need to return false. Okay, oh okay, I need to return true, sorry. So we are finding this right, finding the duplicate cells, return false. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, as simple as that. In case if you are a fresher and you'll be thinking of this logic too, this logic that really pops up in your brain. And what you'll do, you just write code. Okay, let me copy all these things into the compiler. And then if I click on run, it will saying indentation error, as I know. Let me go this one, and then a back step. Okay, and it should be not return. In case if I need return, okay, if I kept return, right. So let me do this print off. Okay, no worries, I need to define the function. Okay, so I'll be giving print off false, and here also I'll be give print off true. Okay, it's TRUE. Don't worry about the spellings. Okay, just understand the concept. I'm very bad at spellings. So if I click on run, okay, you got true, false, false. I think put this I need to put this before. Okay, Oh, ta-da-dum. Okay. So it's print, right? So it's printing multiple times. Don't worry about that. Uh, I think I need to wrap it up in a function. So let me do that. Okay, let me give a sec. Let me put in a function. So what I'll do? So def find duplicates of get nums, and I'll be pushing this to here, and then I'll print off find duplicates of numbers. So if I click on run, so true is not defined, true. Mm, okay, T should be capital and F should be capital. Okay, sorry, my bad. Don't worry. So these are the mistakes that will be make. So here you see. So we have wrapped up everything in a function, and you see we this is the 1 2 3 1, which means this array consists of duplicate values. And when I write this logic, you can see it written true, which means like the array consists of duplicate values. In case if I remove one and click on run again, you see it is false because this array doesn't contain any duplicate values. If I can copy this code and go to the LeetCode problem and paste it here, and if I click on run, then accepted. If I click on submit code, okay, we got one exception. So num is equal 0, output null, return should be false. Okay, that condition we need to keep. So if len of nums less than or equal to 0, return false. Okay, if I click on submit again, mm, 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 wrong answer. Why? Okay. Let me do this. Okay, done. So here the length is one, right? If I click on run, speeding up. So wrong answer for this. So why did we get wrong answer? So let me false expected true. Let me go and give to the if I click on run, nums nums is equal to, if I click on run, it showed false. Okay, why it showed false? Last value we are omitting. Okay, let me remove this, and if I click on run and false. Okay, so expected true, right? So why we are not getting this? So we have sorted the array. Initially it is in sorted manner. So let's debug. Okay, sometimes this kind of thing happens. Let's debug. So 2 4 18 22, it is in sorted manner, and again we have sorted. So for array in range of len of numbers and -1, so every time it will be iterating. First 2 2 14 won't happen, 14 18 won't happen, 18 22 won't happen, 22 22 should happen, and it should return false. So let me print off num of I. If I click on run, what why it is not iterating here? hmm, False, that return false, so else return false. Oh, okay. So I need to keep it outside. Yes, trace back num of 5, num is not defined, nums of I. Okay, so 22 return, and then it is return true, so we got the output. But I'm thinking whether other cases will fail for this particular thing or not. Okay, um, if I push it here, for example, for time being, so we're getting false. So let apply this for the for itself, and if I click on run, true false. Okay, let me remove this, and if I can go there, and what I'll do, just assign it to the for loop, and if I click on submit, let's see how it works. And okay, fine. So it worked finally, and here you see what it was. In Python there is a concept called for else. Okay, for 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 loop you can use else. Okay, here what happened, we directly every time we are iterating and we are checking one condition whether the this number, whether the first zero index number is greater than first index number, and then we are returning true or false based on the first iteration itself. But what happened when it is in sorted order? So what we are doing for an unsorted order, so initially we have 3 comma 2 comma 1 comma 1. So we initially, in case if you think this is the array, so after sorting we got the array as, so 1 1 2 3. We got the sorted array, and we are just comparing the first element and first element, and so on till the end, to print true or false. But what happened when it is a sorted array? So when it is a sorted array, what is happening is like same operations will go on. Every time what you'll do, it will be printing the result, because the first condition itself will exit. That's not the case that we want. So after this execution, in case if it doesn't find any true value, we need to print the else value. Got it? Very simple. So as you can see, how much time that it take to write to execute this program, it have taken 55 milliseconds. Okay, Akhil, 55 milliseconds, and you were at this position. I didn't like this position. Okay, I want to be in this positions. 15% accuracy. So how you can do same process, but bit different. So there is a data structure called set in Python. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, so what does this set do is like, okay, where is this? Here you see. I think I can't find the perfect example for you. Mm, alright, let me do this here itself. Print of engineer John Jack John Jack Jasmine Jack. So that okay. So don't worry about this example. It's pretty bad here. Okay, and let me open this W3 schools. Okay, so let's click on try it yourself for this particular thing. Here you see, so here we have a set which have apple, banana, cherry, apple. So what this set will do, so this is the notation of a set. So we have learned in the discrete mathematics the set operators, union and all. Okay, so here use the set operator. So in case if you use this set operator, what you'll be doing is like it will be removing all the duplicate values from this particular set. Okay, got. So what is our question? So question is to remove the duplicate values. Okay, I can use set. So what I'll do, I'll be keeping it here. What I'll do, I'll be using the set of nums, which means like it will be removing all the duplicate values from the numbers. So we'll be getting for this thing, for this value, we'll be getting like, we'll be getting array after this as 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, now how we can say that whether the set of numbers is equal to the set of is equal to the that numbers, we can take the length. So in case if length is equal, which means like there are no duplicates. If the length not equal, which means like it contains duplicate. Likewise, so what I'll do, I'll simply put it aside, and then I write new logic. So sum of, not sum of, set of numbers double equal to len of numbers. Okay, and I'll be wrapping this also in length, so that I can compare the both elements, both list length. Okay, so if I can copy this one and go to here, and let me duplicate all these things, run and paste it here. So if I click print off, if I click, initially we got false. Okay, this not be the case. Okay, let me do like this. So print off numbers, and then print off numbers. If I click on run, so we got 4 and 5, which means like, the initial numbers. Okay, so we need to find the reverse, like, okay, that's correct. Okay, so if I click on run, which means, okay, which means, oh my god, bullshit with the brackets. Okay, I need to remove, yeah. Okay, so if I click on run, we got false, which means true, because it contains duplicates. Because these both numbers, both len of sets are not equal to the len of numbers, because it contains duplicate values. So in case if I remove 22 from the array, if I click on run, it should return true, because the length of set of numbers is equal to the len of numbers, because it doesn't contain any duplicate. Okay, if I can copy this code and go to the here, and if I comment it everything, and what I do, if this one true, I'll be returning false, else I'll be returning true. So if you click on run, accepted. If I click on submit, taran, see in how many milliseconds that we did in 11 milliseconds, which is very much pretty much good. So we are see initially we are at this position, now we see at what position we are. So just use inbuilt functions to make your programs efficient. Okay, as simple as I can say. So that's the simplest form that you can write. Hope you understand. We face bit difficulty in writing the basic beginner level code, but don't worry. It's just all about debugging. Everyone commits mistakes. We do. People are tend to do mistakes. Don't worry. We don't get everything in a one go, but we should not give up on the things in case if you don't know. Just try. Go ahead. Debug everything line by line. You'll be understanding where did we make mistake. Okay, so let's catch up in another program. Yep, so let us see another program which is to find all the numbers disappeared in an array. So simply they are saying there is an array, and in that particular array there are few numbers which are missing. Okay, so that numbers we need to find. Given an array numbers of n integers where n of I is the range 1 to n. See the range they have given from 1 to n. That is what we need to take when we take in a any looping thing. Okay, so return an array of all integers in the range 1 to n that do not appear in numbers. Okay, so there is the array, and there are few numbers which are not present in that particular array. If you can see here, so 432782331. So what are the numbers missing? 5 and 6, because we have 1 2 3. Okay, so many things. But here is another thing. If you can carefully look at this particular array, which is the num 432782231, we have duplicates also. Okay, so we should not consider that duplicates when we are doing this problem. Okay, and they are saying to find the numbers which are not present in that particular list. Okay, so if you watch our previous things, you'll be understanding how simply we can write this. But you know, we'll be explaining the beginner level, and then I'll be going into the advanced level thing, right? So let us do that itself here. Do I need to explain? Okay, let me do that also. Okay, if you can copy these numbers, we have the numbers. So what you'll do basically, you'll be iterating over the array. First one, iterate over the numbers. And what you'll do, you'll be taking an empty array, and then you'll be iterating over the range, so that if that number doesn't present in that particular array, you'll be inserting that value to that array, right? So what you'll be doing, you'll be initializing an empty array, and you'll be taking a for loop. That loop will be iterating over the 1 to, for example, if the highest number is 8, 1 to 8 it will be iterating. If any number doesn't present in that particular array, just push that array. Okay, what am I trying to say is, if the element doesn't present, then add that to the empty array. Okay, so then return the array. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, so now how do we write this in code? Let me take here, so let me write here. So you'll be taking the empty array, which is new array is equal to empty array. And then what you'll do, you'll be creating a sequence which will be starting from 1 to n, which means we'll be start from 1, and then we'll be iterating over till the length of n plus 1, which is length of numbers plus 1. Okay, for I in range of 1 comma len of n plus 1. So now what does it do is, like, it will be iterating over till 1 to 8, it will be getting all the values. Now what we need to do, In case if the element doesn't present in the ARR of ARR, which means in numbers, okay, then that number will be pushing into the numbers. So if what if I not in nums, what we'll be doing, we'll be directly pushing that value to new array dot append of I, okay, and then we'll be simply say return new array. Okay, hope you understand what they have written. So if the element doesn't present in the original array, then you need to add that particular value to the empty array. Okay, simple. So let me copy this one and go to my online compiler. Dun, 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 dun. Baby Chucky, baby Chuck. And let me declare the this array, and if I can remove return and print of new array, click on run. So n is not defined, so where is the n? So it should be len of nums. Okay, so here you see we got the result as 5 and 6, right? Exactly. And if I give this input also numbers of 1 comma 1, the output should be 2. If I go there and if I remove this one and keep this, click on run, the output should be 2. Okay, so we got the exact thing that we have written. Simple logic. So if you watched our previous video, then you will be doing it in a single line also, but don't worry, we'll be explaining the optimize also. So let me copy this thing. Let me copy this one. Let me copy all this and then go to here, paste, and then indentation, and then this should be nums. So if I click on run code, we know we have executed all these things and it will be passing all these things. Once I click on submit, let us see what will happen. Speaking it up. Judging. Okay. Oh my god. So what happened here, you see? So we have time limit exceeded. We have passed 31 of 35 test cases. Okay. So in generally, time case is one such thing we need to consider. So this is an error that they have given, and there are a lot more. So this is how much the input error is. Okay. And then for this particular code, the time has exceeded because they have given the time as, if you can see, a constraint could you do without an extra space of 0 of n runtime, may you assure the return list does not count as extra space. Okay, so you need to do in a order of n manner. So we can do in a order of n manner, there are different things we don't want that go, we don't want to see all those things. Okay, so if you have seen our previous video, what I told directly, I have told you to take the list set. Okay, and then iterate over the list. And in Python there is a function called difference in Python. So let us see. Okay, I don't want to go to this one. I need the documentation. Okay, not this. Difference in Python documentation. Is my internet connection slow? Okay, let it be. Okay, built-in types documentation. Mm, 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 mm. It's a difference, man. So see, so difference of others written a new list with elements in the set that are not in the others. So it is simply saying like you have two arrays. One array consists of all elements and another array doesn't consist of few elements. Okay, now this difference will return the elements which are not present in the first array. Okay, so return a new set of elements in a set that are not in other. Okay, if we can explore much detail on this difference. Different. So there are no examples, I guess, on this. Okay, let me go to this Greek for Greeks or double three schools. Okay, so double three schools. Try it yourself. So here you see we have Apple, banana, cherry, and Google, Microsoft, Apple. So if I find x dot difference of y, if you can look at these two sets, we have Apple, banana, cherry, and Google, Microsoft, Apple. So what is the difference? So what are the different things that are common in this particular two array, two sets, which is banana and cherry? Okay, so that's the different. Okay, we don't we here we have apple. So what are the remaining elements that doesn't present in the y, which are banana and cherry? So that is what we need to find. Okay, let me go here. So what we need to do? First of all, we need to get the sequence. First one, get this sequence. Then what we need to do? We need to subtract that array, which is we have the function called difference. Difference difference of nems, difference dot num, difference of nems, anything is fine. Difference of nems. Okay, and then we need to convert that to list, because difference is on the set operations. So convert to list. So how we can get the sequence? As in the previous video I have told, you can use the range function. Okay, so the after using the range, so what is the code again? So how the code look like? So code look like, first of all, we need to get the range. So range of, it should be starting from 1 to 10 of numbers plus 1. So till now we'll be getting the range. And then what I told you to do, you need to do the difference. So what's the syntax of difference? Array 1 dot difference of nums. Okay, this will be returning the list of elements, but what I need to do, I need to convert to that to set. Okay, and this set later I need to return is as a list. Okay, I need to convert to list also, simply. Okay, simple, right? Okay, where is this end? Simple, right? Okay, bit complex, but if you can understand these things, then it will be easy. Let me copy this, and if I go here and comment all this out, and then just if I just do this, so print off list of so and so, and if I click on run, so there is a range as but no difference. Okay, I need to be giving it on the set, I guess. So unmatched, if you can remove here. So see, so in the single line we have got the result as 2, and if I give this thing numbers of so and so, we need to get 5 and 6. So we need to get 5 and 6. Click on run, so we got 5 and 6 for this particular number. So as simple as that, just by using the inbuilt functions we can do wonders. Okay, if I go here and if I see, so initially we got the time complexity error. If I comment all this out and then write this, so return of list of set of range of 1 comma len of 1 dot difference of numbers, which is a single line. So this entire process is sum up in this single line. Okay, just give it to the inbuilt functions and work done. If I click on run code, it will be executing all the test cases which are the default one. And then if I click on submit code, which means it will be now calculating the time complexity of this program, which we need to do in the order of n. So taran, here you see we have executed this program in 35 milliseconds, which beats 41.17%. That's good. Okay, so initially we are we took more than time, more than the given time, but now we are around 35, which is a very good. Okay, pretty much good. Done. So that's how you need to do. Very simple. Just understand the logic and then you write code. Let's catch up in another program. Yep. So let us see this program, union of arrays with the duplicates. Okay. So they are saying like we need to do the union of two arrays with duplicates. Okay, so array contains duplicate values, but we need to do union. So let's just understand the question. Given two arrays a and b, the task is to find the number of elements in the union between these two arrays. The union of two arrays can be defined as a set contains distinct elements from the both arrays. If they are repeated, then only one element occurs should be there in union. Okay, note elements of a and b are not necessarily distinct. Okay, fine. So we have the array 1, array A as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and B as 1, 2, 3. If the union of these two lists are, so 1, 2, 3 are common, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, which is 5 elements. So we need to return the number of elements in that particular array. Okay, fine. So this one 8, 25, 1, 32, 54, 6, and 85, 2. So 85 is common, just we need to count it as 185. Okay, not 185, 85 as 1, and then 2. Total we have here 6 and then 7 elements. So likewise we need to do. Okay, let me open this example ROM. So what you will be doing initially, you will be taking this to arrays. I'll be explaining the beginner manner. So as a beginner, what you will be doing is like you'll be declaring an empty array, and you will be checking whether the value present in the array in the empty array doesn't in the array which doesn't present in the empty array. If the value in a does not present in empty array, like empty array, what you will be doing, you will be push the value to array. Okay, that that is what you'll do. And later, after the third case, you'll be iterating over the first array, and later you'll be iterating over the b1. So if the value in b doesn't present in, now we need to take the empty array and push the value to array. Okay, and then last we'll be printing the array. Simple. So by this time you will be understanding how to write the logic and how to frame the logic, but I need to explain much detail for all the people, right? So that's why I'm doing. Now what I'll do, I'll declare an empty array. So empty equal to an empty array, and I need to iterate over the array. So what I'll do, for I in a, and next condition, what is the next condition? If the value doesn't present in, if the value in a, which is array a, doesn't present in ea, which means how we can write, if I not in ea, what I need to do, I need to push that value to ea dot append of I. Okay, for that the first condition, the second condition is done. So for the third one also, what I'll do, I'll take another loop for I in b. If I, okay, if I not in, so if I not in ea, what I'll need to do, same, ea dot append of I. Okay, and at last I'll be printing the ea. Now we'll be getting the, what we'll be getting, we'll be getting the union of two arrays. So let me copy this one, this code, and go to my favorite compiler, online gcc python 3, close this, done. And let me copy this two also. So b is equal to, so if I click on run, so we got the element as 1 2 3 4 5, which is the expect output, but this is not the output, we need to print the count of it. So print the, there is a function called count of ea. If we can do this, we'll be getting, count is not defined to means round. Okay, mm, not count, sorry, it should be len. Okay, so len. Okay, so we got the length as 5, which means 5 elements present in the particular ea element. Okay, so if I can take this one also, if I give this and if I remove all these things, click on enter. So see, we have total, we got 7 elements, so that's the expected output, right? So if I can copy this code, this entire code, okay, this entire code from here to here, if I copy this and go to the editor, if I paste it here, and then what I'll do, I'll push that and I'll be commenting this out here, and this should be written of e of a. Okay, fine. So let me click on run test cases, compile and run. The compilation successful, so I'm clicking on submit. Mm-mm-mm. So see, yeah, oh my god, so again same problem, we got the runtime error exception, and we know only 10 cases were passed. Nice. So how you can do this two particular for loops, so we are using two particular for loops which takes lot of complexity, like lot of time complexity. When that one loop will be executing and then this loop will be executing, it will be iterating over the n. So in case if we have thousands of records, and it will be iterating over the thousand of records. Okay, So how we can do simply we can do by using inbuilt functions. Okay, so Akhil is saying to use inbuilt functions. So what are the inbuilt functions to use for union? If you are thorough with the basic mathematics in sets, there is a concept called union in sets. Okay, union in sets. So what does this union will be doing? Same operation. It will be checking, if you can see here. So x union y is equal to a for each a belongs to x or a belongs to y, which means the element which is present in a and element which is present in b combined together will form a new set, which is a union. So that's the basic operation. So now how we can do this union in Python? So union in Python. Now now you understand where we need to use union. So union can only be used on sets, but we have list. So here is one point, we need to convert that list to set to perform this union, right? Okay, so if I can open this first link, w3 schools, if try it yourself. Okay, now you see, so apple, banana, cherry, google, microsoft, apple, so these are the two sets. Now what they are doing, like, z is called x dot union of 5, print z. Once we do this union operation, what will happen? So they are apple and apple are common, but in union we need to remove the duplicates. Okay, so later, so we'll be getting banana, cherry, and google, microsoft, apple. So if you can see apple, microsoft, google, cherry, banana, so total 5. Let me do this in code for this. So what I can simply do in spite of this, I can say I need to convert this set to a and set of b. And what I do later, I need to do the union. So set of a dot union of set of b. Okay, and so we got the set, but what is the actual expected output? I need to return the count, which means len of set of a. Do you have len on set? No. So next we need to convert to list. Okay, and that's good. If I can copy this code, taran, taran, and go to this one, if I comment out all this thing, taran, 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 I can write as print off this one. If I click on run, so we got the expected output as 7, because for these two inputs the expected output should be 7. So if I can copy this one again and go to this one, Greek for Greek, comment out and just write the return this one, list dot union dot set of b, and if I click on submit, now let us see in how much time complexity that this program will execute. Boom, the program executed within 0.6 seconds. But initially when we have done with the two loops, it took more time than we expected. Okay, so this is the simplest form that you can write the code. Okay, so let's catch up in another video. Bye. Yo, so let us see this program. So where they have asked sort zeros, ones, and twos. So let us see the question. So given an array consists only zeros, ones, and twos, sort the array in ascending order. So you need to solve this problem without using the built-in functions. So without using the built-in functions, you need to solve this. Okay, so built-in sort function. Okay, not, you can use any other function, but sort is the only function that you should not use. Okay, so you have given an array 0 1 2 0 1 1, and you need to get the output as 0 0 1 1 2 2. Okay, segment in ascending order, and that's fine. So if I can grab this out and then go to my exclude draw. So there are many ways to solve these problems. I think by reading the question itself you might have understand what the logic that might be. Okay, so if I paste it here, so you have this array. Now what they are asking you to get this array in such a way that once you look at this array later, it should become 0 comma 0 comma 1 comma 1 comma 2 comma 2. Okay, so you need to sort this array. Okay, you need to sort this array such that all the zeros will come at towards the left side, and ones at the middle, and twos towards the end. Okay, so at last you need to get this array. Okay, fine. Now what are we gonna do? So as I told, there are multiple ways you can sort the array by using bubble sort techniques, insertion sort, selection sort, merge sort, quick sort, any sort you can use. But rather going on to this sorting algorithms, how we can do, simply, in case if you are this intermediate level, what you will be thinking, like, you are okay, what I do, I'll be iterating over the array. So this is the one thing that you will be considering. So iterate, first step you will be doing iterate over the array, and then what you will do, you will be setting a variables called count a, count b, count c. Okay, which means count, let it be, okay, count, what is count 1, count 0, count 1, and count 2 and count 3. And in case if you encounter any value which is, if you encounter, okay, iterate, in case if you encounter 0, increment the, when the count, increment the value of count 0. And in case if you encounter 1, what you will do, you will increment when the count 1. And in case if you get 0, get 2, sorry, you will be increment the count 2. So at last what you will be doing, you will be multiplying with this count, and you will be adding it to the array, which means like in case if you get this count as count of 0, you'll be, if in case if you get count of 0 as 2, what you'll do, you'll multiply with 0. Okay, you will be getting 0 comma 0. So I will tell you how it will be. So in case if you get one 3 ones, so 3 into 1 is equal to 1 comma 1 comma 1. And in case if you do it for 2, in case 2 is twice, and then you will be getting 2 comma 2. And you will be assigning that to an array, and at last you will be getting as 0 comma 0 comma 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 2 comma 2. So likewise this is the thing which you will be doing. Okay, so that's fine, we can write that code also. If I can go to this online compiler, so let us write basically, okay, what I will be telling you with. So what you will be taking, so let me copy this array. Mm-mm-mm. Let me zoom in. So for I in arr, if I double equal to 0, what you will be doing, count 0 is equal to count 0 plus equal to 1. So don't worry, this is the way I write code. Elif I double equal to 1, count 1 plus equal to 1, else count 2 plus equal to 1. Okay, so this is how I write code basically. So I just write the code in my mind, and then I declare the variables. Okay, so count equal to count 1 equal to count 2 equal to, so all should be equal to 0. Right, done. And what you will be doing, once if I click on print of count 2, count 0 comma count 1 comma count 2. So if I click on run, what do you think you will be getting the result as? You'll be getting the zero result as 222, because we have two zeros, two ones, and two twos. Okay, in case if I increment one value here, so which means at present we have three ones. We need to get three. So see, count one is 3. Okay, fine. Let me revert this. Done. So now what you will be doing? So without using any extra spaces, you just have to assign that to the particular array. So what you will be doing is like you will be taking an index variable. Index you'll be declaring it as 0, and then and then you'll be taking another for loop for I in range of how many times we need to iterate. We need to iterate based upon the count value. So count of 0 for I in, I think it should be range of count of 0. Okay, and you'll put that in this array. So a, so let me define another me. Okay, let's define here arr of I is equal to, what you'll be doing, you'll be doing with array of I is equal to 0, and you will just assign that, and you will be incrementing the index value, index plus equal to 1. So if I click on, if I remove this, and then if I write print of arr, let's just see the magic. So as of now, okay, fine, okay, so that's good. So see, so just focus on this output. So what we have did, so we have just added, which means 0 0 to the array which is already present above. So this is a array, this is the initial array. So 0 1 2 0 1 1. But what we have done, so we have just taken the index 0, and then based upon the count of zero, the count of numbers, the count of zeros that are present in that particular list, we have added that zero to the first of array. Okay, fine. Next, what we need to do, same again for 1 also. You'll be taking for I in range of count of 1, and then ARR of I equal to 0, and then you will be incrementing the plus 1 equal to 1. So but here it should be 1. Okay, so if I click on run, you'll be seeing a magic like, okay, so really magic, so array is not printing, so print of ARR. Okay, excellent. I think it should be index equal to 0. Oh, okay, I think it should not be the 0. Okay, so let us see. So what is the one thing that we are doing is like, so we need to replace this I position in the place of inx value. So at index position we need to replace that. So that's the one small mistake that I have committed. So don't do that, because so we are not taking another array. So we can do that another array, we can push that values to another array. But here what we are doing, we are just using the same array to modify the values to put in that particular array. Okay, if I click on run, you can see, so we have 0 0 1 1, because one has the occurrence of twice. Okay, so if I copy this again, and if I paste down, and if I push this to 2, and in case if I can take this as count of 2. Okay, if I click on run, you'll be getting as sorted order. So 0 0 1 1 2 2, that's the expected output, right? So given an array, we need to, okay, let me comment those. Okay, let me remove that. So given an array, what we need to do, you need to sort it out in such a way that all the zeros should come in the left, and ones in the middle, and twos at the end. So that's the expected output. So in case if I copy this code and go to so go here, if I copy this code and go here, and if I paste it here, and then I have some indentation, and then if I can return ARR. Okay, if I click on compile and run, done, test case passed successfully. Okay, and if I click on submit, okay, all test cases pass, nice, and we have the time taken of 0.52, which is good. So don't worry about the attempts, I already done, but I have done in a different manner. Nice. Okay, so time taken is 0.52, which is excellent, very good. Okay, so now let us understand this program, Akil. So you are using lot of ifs, lot of fors. Is there any optimal solution for this? I can write the optimal solution. Okay, so let us see that optimal solution. Before that, I want you to know the list functions in Python list functions. Okay, so if I can what is this? Okay, so let us ask ChatGPT. So give all the functions that I can use on list. Okay, so now it will be giving all the inbuilt functions which I can use on list. So len, sum, max, min, sorted, list, enumerate. So we'll be using enumerate data, all, any, zip, reversed, map, filter, list method on call objects, adding elements, append, insert, extend, removing elements, pop, remove, clear, sort, reverse, index, count, copy, and other useful method are like from iteration tools. Don't worry about this. Later, once we go into the advanced concept, we can learn about each and everything. I'll tell you. Don't worry. I'll be telling you each and everything. But so here you see. So once you look at this, list method calls on list objects. This methods modify or return new list. Adding an element, append of x, add x to the end of the list. List dot insert of I comma x, insert x at index I. So at I position, it will be inserting an I. But here you see, this is one thing. list dot extend of iterable. Iterable is nothing but the list. So we need to give list to the extend so that the before the previous list will extend in such a manner. So how many elements that you will be feeding to this first list, that much it will be extending. So append elements from an iterable. Now we can take this up, extend. Okay, done, fine. Now if you can go here, go to this, and what I do, I just comment this code. And for now, so you can extend by using, we can replace this entire code, this for code. Okay, let me do this then. Copy. If I can go here and paste. Okay, this is the code. So this is the code. If I can say this particular line of code can be used on extend, extend the list, I can use that because I have already have an array. What I'll do, I'll just extend the array based upon the arrays. And if I can say this code, I can directly write it as count. Okay, what is this count? I never heard about this. Okay, if I can go to this count in Python, double three schools. So now see, if I can click on run, here is the fruits list, apple, banana, cherry, and list dot count of cherry. It will be returning the number of occurrence of cherry in that particular array. Okay, so if I click on run, you see, okay, we have one cherry here. And if I can give comma and then say GRRDY, if I click on run again, so now we have two cherries. We need to get the result as 2. Okay, nice. So likewise here also we have zeros, we have ones, we have twos. Now what I'm telling is like use the count function so that we'll be getting the count, and then after getting the count just multiply the list to that particular count and just append to the array. As simple as that. Okay, so let us see in the code now. Let me comment this all out as I told. So that's the, okay, let me remove also, no worries. So this is array. What I will be saying is like count 0 is equal to arr dot count of 0. Okay, and count 1 is equal to arr dot count of 1, and count 2 is equal to arr dot count of 2. Akil, you wrote, but I don't know whether you are saying correct or wrong. Don't believe me. Okay, let us print and see. Count 2. So if I can print count 2, you need to get 2 2 2, because we have count 0 as twice, 1 as twice, and 2 as twice. In case if I increment this as 1, so we have 1 as 3. In case if I increment this array, if I add 0, now you will be getting like 3 3 2. And if I can add one more 0, you need to get 4 3 2, right? So we are getting actual the number of occurrence of an element which is present in an array. This is one of the program. Okay, so I don't explain that program because that program is here. I simply find the frequency of an element in a particular array. So this is the code. Just use the count variable to find the frequency and just return the output. Okay, so I won't explain this program, but it is just covered in this program. Nice. And then what I'm telling is like, so you'll be getting the count. Okay, you got the count. Now take a list. First, initially, the list should consist all the elements of zeros. Okay. Now how you can add an element to 0? Okay. Now I need to have a list. Fine. Then each list should have 0 element. First element should be 0. Fine. And I need to have this list as number of count of 0 element present, which means count of 0. So if I can print this list, print of list, click on run. So you got 0 0 0 0 because we have 4 zeros in this particular list. Okay, fine. Akil, we got all zeros. Next what? So next, after zeros, we need to have ones. Okay. So to add ones, I can directly write like I can't directly like add of so and so. For that, I already asked GPT to give me what is the thing where I can extend the array. Now we have this extend function which extend this particular array such that, okay, if I can go to here and if I remove this, I'll be simply saying like list dot extent of. Now I need to have a list again where it should have one value, and that value has to be repeated as the count of one times. If I click enter and print the list, print of list, run, see, 0 0 0 1 1 1. Excellent, right? Now if I can take this out again, if I say 2 and then count of 2, we got 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 2 2 2. So that's the expected output. Okay, so I have added few more bits, so I'll be removing all these strings. If I click on run, you will be getting 0 0 1 1 2 2. That's the expected output, right? And what if we can optimize? Okay, don't worry about this optimization and all. Okay, fine. So this is the output, and I don't know why this Greek for Greeks is not taking this solution. So if I can comment this out code and then remove this return to. And I need to return the. So it's, just remember, space complexity is much cheaper, very cheap. Don't care about the space complexity when you are writing the code. Don't even care. Use how many variables you want, how many lists you want, how many dictionaries you want. Use memory as in whatever. In case if you don't know how much you need to use memory, just go ahead and use a lot of memory. Don't worry about the memory when you are writing the code. Just work on the time complexity. That's the one thing which I usually do. I don't care about these variables and stuff. I just declare a lot of variables. Later I go and optimize the things. That's a separate thing. But when you write the code, just go ahead and give all the variables. Now if I click on run, see, I don't know why Greek for Greeks is not giving the correct answer for 0 1 2 0 1 1. So we have taken one, that only 0 1 2 0 1 1. So we got the result as 0 0 0 1 1 2 2. Okay. Uh, Now your output says like 0 1 0 1 0 1 2 0 1 2. The expected output is 0 0 1 2 1 2. But I got the output as 0 0 1 1 1 2. So sometimes it works, sometimes it don't works. But why I'm saying this program in different manner is that basically you will be thinking, in case if you are in this particular level, what you will be thinking like, okay, let's go ahead and do in this manner so that the program will be easier. Okay, but what it just happened, in case if you follow this method, it didn't take, right? So you need to be in a beginner level also sometimes to run the program. Nothing we did, just use that particular logic and just we made it very simpler. But this simpler thing didn't take, it didn't take by the Greeks for Greeks. Okay, so sometimes it happens, but don't lose your hope and all when you are trying these solutions. Okay, so sometimes it works, sometimes it don't works. But what you need to do, you just need to take pen and paper, trace everything to get the correct answer. Okay, so that's it. Let's catch another program. Yep. So let us see another program. So here you go. Rotate array by one. So you need to rotate array by one. So given an array, rotate the array by one position in a clockwise direction. So this is the clockwise direction. And array, this is array 1 2 3 4 5, and output should be 5 1 2 3 4. So in case if I copy this one, and if you rotate array by position in clockwise, 5 comes to the front and remaining those are shifted to the end. Okay, so example draw, and then let me paste it here. So what they're simply saying is like, in case if it is in a clockwise manner, we need to move this one in this manner. So if we move in this manner, you will be getting, and we need to move only one position. So we need to move only one position, which means this 5 will be replacing the position of 1. Okay, let me do it here. So here the 5 will be getting the position of 1. Okay, and then 1 will be getting the position of 2. 2 will be getting the position of 3. 3 will be getting the position of 4, and 4 will be getting the position of 5. So likewise, once we complete this program, we need to get as the array as 5 1 2 3 4. Okay, so that's the program that they want to do us, given us. Okay, we need to do that. So initially, if you look at this program, what you'll be doing is like, okay, so they have asked me to do to a, to move a bit towards the right side so that the first element come in front one. So as a beginner, what you'll be doing is like you'll be taking error of n minus 1 element, which means you'll be getting the last element. You'll be getting the last element, and what you'll be doing is like you just append the last element to the a of I. Okay, a of 0 is equal to, you'll be what you'll be doing like you'll be assigning the last element. So this is what you will be doing initially, right? Okay, so okay, I have got 5. Okay, I have got 5 here, so I need to replace here. So once you, if in case if you do this, in case if you do this thing, what will happen is like you'll be getting an array called, you'll be getting an array called 5 2 3 4 5, which is entirely a blunder mistake. Okay, so if you do that, this is the output that you'll be getting, and this is entirely wrong. Okay, so as I know, I will be telling the beginner level program, so this is what you will be thinking of, so that's entirely wrong. Okay, so let us go and think of few more possible ways. So what you'll be doing, you'll be simply taking a, you'll be iterating over the array, iterating over the array, and initially you need to take up the first element. Okay, so why we need to take up the first element or the fifth element? Just because we need to have these two particular elements later when we use them. Okay, so for now what I do is like I want to replace the value. Which value I need to replace? I will be replacing the last element value as the first element. Okay, so I need to get the last element, which means a of n minus 1. So I got the last element. Now what you need to do, every time when I iterate over the array, I need to move a bit towards the right, which means I should come from the right side, so that each and every element will be fitting in the particular array, and later there might be a space for me to put the last element. Okay, so in case if you don't understand, what I'm asking is to do is like, so we'll be taking a for loop. So you'll be taking for loop for I in range of, now as I told, we need to move it from the last side. So we'll move from the last side, and till the 0 we'll be incrementing the, we'll decrementing the minus 1 position. But here is one thing. Okay, as we know, we have n5. Do we have the 5th index? No, right? So this is an array. So okay, let me paste it an array. So this is an array. Oh my god. Oh shit. Okay. Hmm. Sometimes it happens. Okay, don't worry. So this is the array, and if we use this for loop, what will happen is like we are coming till the end. N here is nothing but the length of array. Okay, so what is the length of array here? It is 5. So do we have the fifth element here? Error of 5 is nothing. You know, you'll be getting an index out of bound error. So here for loop, this for loop has to be converted to for I in range of n minus 1 comma 0, and then we are decrementing minus 1 position. Done, we got the for loop. Next, what we need to do, so next, every time when you come across this this for loop, you need to replace the value. Which value I need to replace? I need to replace the array value in the particular position when it is decrementing. Okay, so as I simply saying is like, so now your I value will be, so I'll be clearly explaining, your initially I value will be I is equal to 4. Okay, and then next iteration I is equal to 3, and the next iteration I is equal to 2, and the next iteration I is equal to 1. So we got this many iterations, we got 4 iterations, because we are taking from 4 to 0. So I once double equal to 0, then it will be exiting from the for loop. So these are the things that we need to do. Now let us see the output one. So this is the output. Let me paste it here. Okay, so now we have paste it here. Okay, let me, okay, do just to make sure they both are equal level. Okay, nice. I think I need to add, okay, some space. Okay, so now see, if you compare this to array, what happened now? So we got 4 in place of fifth position, 3 in place of this one, 2 year and 1 year, which means if you can consider the indices, it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you consider this also, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have this many elements, and now you see here we got the index as I is equal to 4. I is equal to 4, which means in I is equal to fourth position of an array, which element do I need to replace? In this particular position, I need to replace the array of this one, which means the index is 3. How do I can get index 3? I can get index 3 by using this I variable. Initially it is 4, so this is the 4, which means that's the position that I need to replace. But what's the value that I need to replace? I need to replace the value which I can get it from here, from this particular indices, by decrementing the 1, which means now what I will be doing is like, okay, let me copy paste. So what I'll be doing is like, for I is equal to 0, now a of I is equal to a of I minus 1, which means now a of I is nothing but a of 4. Okay, now what is the a of 4 value? A of 4 is nothing but the a of I minus 1. What is a of I minus 1? A of I minus 1, a of 3, which means now a of 4 equal to a of 3 is how much? A of 3 is 4. Here we have a of 3 is 4. This 4 will be fitting it here. Okay, a of 4 is 4. Did I make sense or just I confused? Maybe in case if it's not clear, just look at this one also. Now we have a of I equal to a of I minus 1, which means now what is the value of I? Value of I is nothing but value of I is 3. So a of 3 equal to a of 3 minus 1, which is 2. Now if you look at a of 3 has to be in the next array. So in the next array, if you can see here, in the next array, a of 3 position should be a of this position. Where does this position lies? In the at the index of 2. Okay, so at the index of 2 position we need to get this value, right? Now you go, so a of 3 is nothing but a of 3 is 3, 4, 3. We got 4 and 3. So likewise we'll need to do for this also. So I'll be doing it as current a of, I'll do it faster because at by this time I think you got the solution. So a of 2 is equal to a of 1, which means a of 2 is equal to 2. Okay, and then this one, a of I is equal to a of I minus 1, which means a of 1 is equal to a of 0. What is a of 0? A of 0 is nothing but a of 0. A of 1 is nothing but 1. Done. Simple and precise. Now what happened? So initially we have this array, this box, and let me do this. Let me take a triangle. Okay, and let me do this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so yeah, here this is 0th position, 0. Okay, let me do this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now a of 4 is 4. Fine, let us fill 4, 4. Okay, now a of 3 is 3. Now a of 2 is 2, because where we are getting from this, where we are getting all this, we are getting this from here. Now a of 1 is 0, right? So till now we got the half array. So sorry, it should be my mistake. So it should be 1. So by till now we got this array as our answer, but what is the value which is missing? It has missing the first element. So to get the actual output for this particular element, we got 1 2 3 4 in their respective position, but 5 is missing. So where is the 5 value? Here is the 5 value. So we have taken the fifth element from here. Now what I'll do, I'll simply say that AR of 0, where it is, okay, small mosquito, don't worry. So AR of, how can I remove this? Delete, okay, fine. So AR of 0, I'll simply say like A of n minus 1 element. So that's the first element, which means I need to take A of 0 as the last element. Simple program, right? Okay, so I need to have this for loop, and then this logic, which means A of I is equal to A of I minus 1. And then after that, what I need to do, I need to have this logic, which means A of 0 is equal to last element, and return the output. So this is a simple program, very simple program. Just in case, in case if you are just fresher and you will be thinking like, okay, what I need to do, what is struggle, you will be struggling lot of doing lot of struggles, but this is actual trace, very simple. Okay, if I can open this online compiler, if I can go there and choose Python. Okay, let me copy this program. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my god. Okay, so let me write. So a is equal to, so this is array. Okay, double array. So initially what I told, I need to get the last element. So last element is equal to a of len of, or what you can do, you can use slicing a of minus 1. Okay, or okay, don't worry, I have explained in different manner, right? So what I need to do, I need to get the last element, which means a of len of a minus 1, which means if I can print the last element, run. So you got the last element as 5. So that's the last element, right? Now you'll be storing this last element there. Now what you need to do, as I told, for I in range of n minus 1 comma 0 comma minus 1. So every time what I need to do, as I explained here, a of I is equal to a of I minus 1. A of I is equal to a of I minus 1. So if I can run this program, if I print a, let us see the magic. Oh, n is not defined, which means it is not a, which means len of a. Okay, and if I click on run, you see we got the result as 1 2 3 4. That's the expected output. But where is this one came from? That's the one which is exist in this particular array. Now we need to replace that array, that first initial value, with our last value, which means a of 0 is the last element. And if I click on print of a, you can see we got the actual result. Okay, as simple as that, guys, very simple. And if I can take this out code, if I can copy this code and then go to here and indentation, and if I click on return a, I didn't do this program till now. For the first time I was doing by recording this video only. Let's see how does it goes. Okay, oh, oh, a is not defined. I think it's R should be rolling like this, Armada. Okay, let me replace all this a's with R array. Run, run. Okay, if I click on run, boom, test case pass. Let us click on submit. Let us see what's the time complexity. Wow, it executed very fast in 0.2 seconds. Nice. Okay, so this is a begin level program, but it took very less time. So I can't say anything, but we have passed 1115 test cases. That's good. That's fine. Okay, so this is the beginner level program. So I said this is a very beginner level program. So you have Akil, you have just this much this much length, and you are saying like it's a beginner program. How does it a beginner program? Because the difference between beginner and the expert programmer is like you don't focus upon this loops concepts. First of all, the advanced programmer, what you'll do is like you'll be focusing on using the inbuilt functions and advanced concepts. Now, okay, Akhil, what are you trying to say? I don't find any inbuilt functions to do this program. I think there is a no function called clockwise to rotate an array. That's the next question, right? Okay. So you don't have the clockwise in a Python. But what you can do, you can slice the array, which means when you are at the beginner level, you got an idea called getting the last element. Okay. In Python, as you have previously saw my videos in the previous lecture, I told in Python there is a concept called slicing. Okay, slicing. By slicing, we can solve this program in single line. Okay. Oh, okay. Now you see what I'll be trying to say is like, okay, let me go here. Let me comment this out. Okay, let me remove this only. So slicing works in such a way that in case if you want to get the first three elements, I can simply write print of a of um, is to 4. So is to 4. If I click on run, oh, you got 4 elements. Okay, sorry, is to 3, not 43, is to 3. Okay, so from first position to the third position you will be getting the values. So here 3 means 3 is the n. Now in slicing also we need to remove 3 minus 1 position. Okay, so we will be getting till second position. Okay, now this is the index 0, index 1 and index 2. Okay, so that's why we got the result as first 3 elements 1 2 3. And if I want to get the till 4 elements, as we have seen before, is to 4, you'll be getting 4 elements. Okay, but we got the 0 1 2 3, 3 indices but 4 elements. Okay, now Akhil, okay, so left side you are saying like, okay, is to so and so, but what if I want to get in the exact middle value? So now in the array we have the middle value as 2 and 3. So if I want to get this middle value, what I'll be simply saying like, I'll be getting a of what is the indices of 2. Index of 2 is 1. Okay, what is the indices of 3? Indices of 3 is 2, but we need to take n minus 1, which means 2 minus 1, not 2 minus 1, 3 minus 1, 3. So if I can run this program, you'll be getting like 2 and 3. Got it? In case if you didn't understand the logic, just skip backward and just come again. You'll be getting it. Okay. And in case if I want to print multiple elements, so like I can say if I want to print from 2 to 4, I can say what is the indices of 2? Indices of 2 is 1. And till how many values I need to print? Till 4. 4 has the index of 1 0 1 2 0 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, so if you can click 4, you can see 2 3 4 values are printed successfully. So that's how slicing works from the left side. Okay, Akhil, what about right side? Okay, nice. So if I can click print of a of, and let me do this. Now if you go from left side, this indices are 0 1 2 3 4. And in case if you go from right side, what will happen is like the indices changes. Indices will be -1, -2, -3, -4, and this is as -5. So that's how the allocation of indices takes place in an array in Python. So you will be seeing all the things in negative manner once you come from this right side. Okay, Akhil, you have told right side. So -5 is located at -1. Yes, it is -5. If I click on -1, you'll be getting as 5. Okay, I think my internet is a bit slow. Don't worry, let me comment all this out. If I click on run, hey man, come on man. Oops, my network is gone. Now it should come. Yeah. So okay. So let me close this one. So now you see, so we got the last element as 5. Fine. Nice. Okay, Akhil. So if I want to get all the elements from the last till 3, how can I do? Simply print of till 3 you need to get. Okay, so what is the values that you need to give from the right side? From the right side you need to give -1, -2 and -3. Okay, how I can give? So you need to get, you need to do -3 till how many values you need to get till -1? 3 4. Okay, and I think it should be, if I can give this here, yeah, it works. Let me do this also. 3 -1. So we got till 3 4 and 3 4 5, which means from here we got all the elements. Okay, now what I say, okay, from here you get all the elements. From the second position you can write that simply print of a of -4 is 2. If I can do this, what are the values that I got? 2 3 4 5 values I got. Okay, nice, Akhil, you got all the 2 3 4 5 values. Now what is the next step? Now if you can look carefully at the program, at this program, so what is the error that that they are asking? They are asking at us 51234. Okay, 51234 is the thing that they are asking. So this is the thing. Now if you can compare this, if you can compare this one to this last element, okay, we have taken one. So if I can get the one also, what I'll be doing is like -5. Yeah, same, somewhat on those lines. So I don't want to do it till -1. What I can do, simply write like this. Okay, oh, am I getting confused or am I making you confused? Okay, fine. Okay, nice. So now we, what are the values that we got here from -5 to -1? We got the values as, okay, let it be control Z. Let me comment this out also. I think hope you understand the slicing concept. That will be fine enough. Now you see, so this is the expected output that they want to print, and this is the slicing array that we got. Okay, now understand. So this is the half of the array, and we got this array. Now this last element is here. So we got the last element. We got the last element by using -1. Okay, we got the last element. Okay, we got the last element. Akhil, what is your plan? My plan is to tell you, like, in case if you add these two arrays, like, you'll be getting the resultant array as the expected array in reverse order. As simply I am saying is like, so understand one thing. Okay, let me do and explain. What I'm trying to say is like, in case if you can say print of a of -1 plus a r of, is that a, yep, is that a of -5 is to -1. If I click on run, you'll you'll be getting an error, because you see unsupported operand types s for plus int and list. I know why this error comes, because I just wanted you to know. Here you see, if you can look at this first two outputs, which is print of a of -1 and print of a of -1 is to -5. For the first one we got an integer value, and the second one we got in list value. In Python we can't add int and list, but what we can do, we can add int and int, we can add list and list, but not int and list and list and int. Now I need to convert this number to list. How I can do, I can simply wrap it in a square bracket, so that it will be making a list. Now you see, this is the actual output that they want. 5 1 2 3 4. Okay, so 5 1 2 3 4 is the actual output, right? Simply that's the expected output. Now what I'll do, in place of 5, I'll be doing it as len of a. If I click on run, same output. And if I take another array, this array, if I can take this array, okay, a is equal to, so you need to get result as 39876,421. 39876,421, right? Very simple, right? So that's, so now how many lines that we write this program? Previously this program we have written this program, right? So this is a 1 2 3 4 5 lines. So but we have written all this thing without using for loop in order of n. Okay, now if I can copy this one, copy, go here, and if I comment this out, and then I'll simply say return this. And if I click on compile program, runtime error, so a is not defined, it should be arr, arr, arr. Compile and run. If I click on submit, oops, something went wrong. Okay, now see, for this input, your core output is 728 so and so, and the correct output is 128. So why it is not coming? So let us copy this one, and then let's go and put it here, comma separated, comma, 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 comma. If I click on run, so we got 127907280 so and so. This is the actual output, and here you go. So that's the actual correct output. Its correct output is 9828. So at last, okay, we got correct, but output difference is so and so. Okay, it's not taking. Okay, don't worry. So let us, in case if it is not taking, what we can do, we can just what I can say, reshoot this thing. What I'll do, I just edit my code in such a way that from till last, just take all the inputs except the last value. And what I'll do, simply I just remove this array list. Okay, and click on submit again. Let us see if it works. It works, or else that's the optimal solution that we can do. Yo, same. I don't know what happened to this Greek for Greek. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Don't worry. Okay, so this is the thing we can use in this manner also. I just wanted to know this is also one such thing that you can do. Okay, don't worry about this Greeks for Greeks website. Sometimes it gives troubles, but that's time taken. Now time took 0.32 seconds. That's super. Okay, no worries. So that's the thing. I just wanted to make you sure that you are thorough with the concept, and then don't worry about this coding bug. So I can report an issue here. I'll be reporting that in a couple of seconds. But both the programs, previous and this one, I'll be reporting them. Okay, so that's it. Let's catch up in another program. Bye. Okay, so let us see one more program which they are asking is cadence algorithms. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce. So cadence, let's define cadence algorithm. Okay, given an array ARR, you need to find the maximum sum of the sub array. So what happens is like when the fresher look at this particular question, and in case if we see sub array, like you'll be thinking like this is a very big kind of program, and I don't know how to do. I maybe I need to use sliding window concepts and all in this program. Okay, some programs will be using this sliding window algorithms, but few doesn't need. Okay, so first of all, don't get tensed when you see a word called subarray, subset something. Okay, so let us see this program. So input array is 2 3 minus 8 7 minus 1 2 3. The output is 11 because the year subarray 7 minus 1 2 3 as a larger sum of 11. And if you can look at this array minus 1 minus 4, the subarray minus 2 as the largest sum minus 2. Array 54178 which has 25, the subarray 541728 as the largest sum 25. So how we are saying is like, so let me copy this one which is very simple. Example draw. So what I do, so I'll just paste it here. So now initially if you want to calculate the sum, what you'll do, you'll be declaring the variable as sum equal to 0 something. Okay, now what I turns to do is like, okay, now I need to get the sum of the largest subarray. What I can do, I can take the first value as my initial value, initial sum, because that's the calculation that can take place. So what I'll do, in place of sum, I'll be taking the first element of this particular array. Okay, now got it. So now whenever we iterate over this particular array, what should happen? Every time you need to sum the value, which means you need to get the current sum. Current sum is equal to, which means the sum which you have already in the variable sum plus and the iteration I value, so ith element. Okay, so now every time this current value will be changing. So in case if you are traversing, if we consider this one, so not gonna take the first element because as we already took the first element in this particular sum value. Now from 4 we'll be iterating towards the end, and we'll see how does it goes. Okay, so now if you can see here the current sum which is 0. So current sum should be also declared to 0. For time being, let it be. So current sum is equal to, what is the sum initially? Sum is a of 0. A of 0 is nothing but 5. 5 plus, what is the ith element? The next element is 4. So sum plus 4 is equal to 9. So we got 9 as the answer. Next iteration, so we will be seeing like current sum equal to, next what you will be doing, again you got the current sum value as 9, sum value current value as 9, and then you'll be taking the 9 plus the next value which is 1. Okay, so likewise now you will be getting 10. Okay, next current sum is equal to 10 plus 7 is equal to 17, and then current sum is equal to 17 plus 8, which is 25. You got the actual output. But in case if you do this, it works, but only for few test cases it works. But what I'm trying to say is like, this is a process you will be following and doing. Okay, they have asked me to do the sum, and this is what I came up with, but this is not gonna work. But we'll be using this logic, this few logics which I've taken here to do the calculation. So what I do is like, whenever when the sum value plus incremented, what else is like, okay, is this the maximum value that the current sum can have? Because I need to find the maximum sum in that particular array. If I can find the maximum value of this particular sum array, then I can get the value, right? So what I simply do is like, I'll be writing a logic, simple logic like current sum equal to, so you know how to find the maximum value. In Python we have a function called max, which returns the maximum value. Run. So max of 5 comma 10, which means what is the maximum value here? 5 or 10? 10. So output should be 10. If I give in place of 5, if I replace with 15 and click on run, the maximum value will be 15. Okay, so that's how the max works. So what I do, in place of current sum, I can write max of, and the sum value, sum variable plus the ith variable. Okay, I'll do this, and I need to find the maximum of sum of I value plus I value, because every time the value incremented, we'll be getting the sum. But in case if the sum is equal to that particular element, which is neither gate, that's why what I do, I'll be taking the I value plus the maximum of sum plus I value. Okay, now you got the current sum. Is that fine? I think so, no, because after you get this current sum, you also should return the, you'll be getting this current sum based upon the number of iteration you take. But by iterating also, in the previous test cases we have this negative marking. Okay, and we need to have another variable which stores the maximum sum of the entire program. Okay, this current program will save only the iterated sum, but we need to have a maximum variable where it can take all the entire sum. So I'll be writing like maximum is equal to AR of 5. Initially I'll be taking AR of 0. Okay, I'll be taking this. Now what I do, in place of maximum is equal to, I'll be returning max of maximum comma current current sum, which means now initially the maximum is 5, AR of 0 is 5. Next time, every time the current value is incremented, now I will be checking whether the maximum is maximum than the current sum. In case if current sum is the maximum, I need to replace the current sum to the maximum sum. That's how I need to get, because I need to get the sum of the entire subarray. Now, if you can entirely just copy this program and go to this online compiler, taran, taran, taran. Maybe little confusing, don't worry. So it just okay, it won't come like in this manner. Okay, so let me write this program. Um, error so and so. So what are the things I told? First of all, we need to iterate for I in ARR, and then we need to have the current sum. Current sum is equal to, what is the current sum? Max of sum plus I comma I, and then we need to have the maximum. Maximum is equal to max of maximum comma current sum. Okay, and then I will be printing the maximum. Okay, so we didn't declare the variables, let us declare the variables also. Current sum equal to maximum equal to AR of 5. Okay, AR of 0. And as I told, okay, this is the thing which we have done, but here is one such thing which I have told. Initially we have taken the fifth value, then the array should be starting from the next value, which means from 1 we need to get the values. So how we can write this in slicing? We can write this in slicing in such a way that ARR of 1 is 2. So this 1 is 2, what it will do, from the first element, it tomes the first element and then first index, and it will be printing all the elements, it will be taking all the elements from the array. So if I can go there and if I write this for I in ARR of 1 is 2, so it will taking all the elements except the first element. If I click on run, oh, this is the wrong syntax. Okay, A is not defined, sorry, I went in a flow. Where is A? Okay, here is A. If I click on run, the sum is not defined. Okay, let me define maximum current sum and then sum also equal to array. And if I click on run, we got 13. Oh my god, so why did we get 13? Maybe just because of some variable. Okay, let me do, so sum equal to 0. Oh my god, 8. Okay, so let us trace where did we get went wrong. Okay, for I in range of this is to be current sum. Okay, sorry, current sum plus I. Okay, sorry, just ignore this thing. So that's why I just stuck in whenever I was doing. Okay, so in place of sum we need to have the current sum max. Okay, just make a note. Okay, that's fine. Now we got the 25 as the output. Okay, if I can take this test case, and if I see we need to get output as 11. Dun, 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 dun. C11, we got the answer as 11. Okay, very simple program. So you should not take sliding window concepts and all where for basic programs. Okay, if you can understand a bit logically, then everything comes in loop. If I can copy this entire code from here, and if I can go to this one, paste it here, and then if I return maxim and click on compile, yep, test case passed. And if I click on submit, let us see how many test case will pass and in what's the time complete that might take. Boom, so it took 0.05 seconds. That's exactly fine. We got the attempt dash 2, that's fine. So this is 1115, all good. So this is a program, so this is a very basic program for this cadence algorithm. So in case if you want to know much details of this cadence algorithm, just go and google. Okay, that's it. So very simple, and this is one of the important program also if you want to understand much more programs based upon this sliding concepts. Okay, let's catch up another program.